So what are the signs when it's time to harvest your garlic? Let's talk about that today. Hey guys, this is Daryl with Louisiana Simple Living. Thanks for coming back, and we're out in the garden today. Alright, so I planted some garlic, 3 different types, in a 12x4 bed raised bed that I have in my backyard. Planted it last October, and it's getting to be time to harvest. I'll give you a quick rundown on how I planted the garlic. Then we'll take a look at the plants themselves and look for the signs that it's time to go ahead and harvest. Then we'll harvest some. And then I'll show you how I'll braid them up and talk about how they got to be cured. Go ahead and subscribe if you haven't subscribed as yet. Ring that notification bell and like the video. And feel free to go ahead and share the video as well. Alright, let's get started. Alright, let's talk now about how to plant the garlic. So I planted 3 varieties back in early October in my backyard garden. Planted them in my 4x12 raised bed. And I planted them on October 18th. So the 3 varieties I planted include elephant garlic, it's the silver skin softneck, and an Italian softneck garlic. Alright, to plant you want to go ahead and bury them about 2 inches deep in the soil. You want to make sure the pointed end is up in the kind of root area that you normally cut off when if you're using a thing of garlic. That's the root, and that goes downward. So have them separated about 4 to 8 inches apart. Soil should have plenty of compost and organic matter. The richer your soil is, the closer you can put them together. Yeah, and last fall, after the garlic plants emerged, I went ahead and provided a leaf mulch. And that greatly helps the plants thrive. So when is it time to harvest your garlic? In many cases, especially in southern climates, that depends a lot on when you actually planted it. If you plant it in the fall, it'll be different, whereas you can plant in the spring and get some harvest as well, just usually not as good as overwintering the garlic plant. And the telltale sign is to look for the yellowing on the plants. Yeah, so for example, this is the elephant garlic. You can see it's starting to turn yellow all the way up to the very top. And as you can tell, it's kind of leaning to the side as well. And so that's the silver skin, so you can see you got some of the leaves browning. That's the leaves that actually go around the bulb at the very bottom. Now if you go over here to the Italian, you can tell these are a lot more dried out, and see how they're all just kind of leaned over there. That means it's they're really getting ready to harvest. So you want to harvest your garlic when you're starting to see some yellowing, especially at the bottom half of your plant. But you don't want to let it dry out completely all the way the entire stem that's coming out of the ground, because by that point it'll be too dry. Each one of those leaves on the stem is basically a wrapper. It's the wrap that goes around your bulb of garlic. So if they're all super dry and starting to fall apart, then once you harvest your garlic, it may have disease, or easier to get disease, and it's just not going to last as long when you're trying to store your garlic. And so when you pull it, that's the whole point. You don't want to pull it too early, because it's not going to be, if like your stem is completely green and you pull it, then you're not going to have very good sized garlic. But if you wait till it completely dries out, then again the papery cover degrades, and it just won't last as long for you. Alright, so the elephant garlic's on those first couple rows. I'm going to go ahead and we'll pull one up, look at it. If they all look good, we'll take them all up. Here's a much bigger one. Okay. Alright, so that's a much bigger one here. Alright, just pulled this one out of the ground. Nice, good looking elephant garlic. We'll pull the rest of them. Nice size one. Not a bad little mess. That elephant garlic goes a long way too. Alright, next up is the silver skin. Not incredibly big, but they don't get super big. Alright, let's try out this Italian. Oh yeah, this is looking really good here. Nice head of, big nice head of garlic. So I think the way things are looking, I'm going to go ahead and harvest the Italian, but I think I'm going to leave in, I'm going to go ahead and leave in the silver skin, let it get a little bit more size on it. Try to give it 2 weeks or so. We'll see when the green starts turning more yellow on that one. But we're going to harvest all this. Yeah, you got some nice garlic. This is Italian. Alright, that's a mess of garlic. That's Italian. This is the silver skin, soft neck. Again, I'm just not real happy with the size. I'm going to leave it in, let it grow for a little bit. See, so you still got quite a mess of them growing. I'll leave them grow for a little while longer. And this is my elephant garlic. You see how big they are. Very happy with that. Alright, you got a couple options when it comes to curing your garlic. The first thing you want to do regardless is go ahead and get a brush and just kind of brush off the dirt off the roots. You can go ahead and cut the roots back, but not cut into the actual bulb. You can take 4 to 6 and kind of tie them up together, hang them in a dry, non-humid location, cooler, your basement, something like that. Alright, to cure it, so you can just go ahead and brush all that, get all that mud, dirt out of here. You're not trying to clean it, just trying to get the excess mud, dirt off of it without injuring and without bothering the actual bulb itself. You can kind of hang 4 or 5 together, just let them cure outside or in a basement, whatever the case, just something that's not too humid. You can also go ahead and cut them off right about here. You still need to leave them where they're going to cure, and you can, they'll last 6 to 8 months at least. Or you can braid them. So I'm going ahead and cleaning all these off. Alright, so what I'm also going to do, I'm going to cut the root off. That's all you want to do is just cut the root off. You can leave a little bit on there, but not much. Alright, so we got them all cleaned up. Now we're getting ready to go ahead and braid them. Alright, so we prepared our bulbs for the braiding. Clipped off the roots. Got the little brush here, just knocking off the dirt. So did that on all of them. So now, these are a little bit harder to braid, to be honest, but we're gonna see what we can do. I've never braided elephant garlic, but let's try it. So you want to lay 3 out. Crisscrossing each other. Then you want to tie that. Wish I had some brown twine, it'd look better, but I don't. So okay, then what you want to do is just lay one in, weave it, lay another one in, weave that one, you just keep working it that way. Now, I've never braided hair, so I guess I don't really know the technique. But I think that's going to work. Just need to tie it up at the end here. I'll tie this little loop at the top, then I can hang it. Again, nothing pretty, but it'll work. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and braid this Italian. I'm going to go ahead and pre-cut a piece of string here. That's what you want to do. This will go a lot easier than the other one. Grab you a couple. Cross over each other. Get some good sized ones here. See, these are flexible, whereas the elephant garlic was not. Okay, so we're going to tie this up right here. You overlap the right one over it. Add one to the middle. And you do your left one over. And one back this way. Put your right leaf over it. Alright, last one finally. You could tie up 4 to 6, whatever the case may be, and just hang them. You can also go ahead and cut off the stem right up above, like you would see when you buy garlic at the store. Alright, you can go ahead and take that inside, put it in a dark place, cool place. The cool thing about it is the longer you store your garlic, the more intense the flavor becomes. Also, just remember, if you plan on planting garlic next year, take your best 2 or 3 bulbs from this year's garden, or from this year's harvest, and use those to plant for next year. We'll plant that in October time frame. The idea, if you use your bigger bulbs, those are the best performers from this past season. So those are the logical ones to pick to use for next season. So you'll start getting that garlic accustomed to your climate, your soil, your nutrients, all of that. So, and they just get better and better over time. Hey guys, thanks for coming back to Louisiana Simple Living today. We did a video on harvesting garlic. Showed you when I planted it back in October, when I mulched it, which helps out your plants. They do better throughout the season. And then went ahead and harvested. And it was smart the way we did it, because we at least tried to do a couple of samples for each there were 3 types. We tried to pull 1 or 2 bulbs from each type and just see how big they were. I was happy with the elephant garlic. I was happy with the Italian garlic. I probably pulled a few too many, because I think I pulled 6 or 7 possibly of the silver skin. But I started thinking about it, and they just ain't big enough. So I'm gonna let those go for another couple weeks. And it makes sense, because the yellowing on those plants were not near as much as the Italian and as the elephant garlic. So hey, this thing is kind of logical. It makes sense. Doesn't always work out the way we think it will, but all we can do is keep trying, and hope it works out in our favor. And so look, garlic's really easy to grow. I don't care if you're a beginner or an advanced gardener. Grow some garlic in your backyard. There's nothing like it. You know where it come from. You know it's organic. All those kind of things. So it's important to us. It's important to my family that we eat healthy, and there ain't nothing better than some good old fresh garlic. Hey, I love it roasted as well. Garlic is used in a lot of our recipes here at the house. So try growing garlic in your backyard. And if you haven't subscribed as yet, please subscribe, ring that notification bell, and like the video. Go ahead and share that video. Remember what I always say, make memories now while you can. You look at last weekend, I put out that episode that my wife and Erin and I went to Natchez, Mississippi. Spent a weekend there and just had a blast. Towns all around you, wherever you're at, there's some neat places. Just go out and venture, explore, see the history, see the buildings, see the sights, see the attractions, and make memories. And as always, I will see you on the next video.